Welcome to today's Explainer. I spend a whole lot of time analyzing optimal investment strategies, and it's honestly amazing to me how many people just want to skip right to the fun stuff. They want to pick trendy stocks, find the next big crypto coin, all without actually building a solid financial house from the ground up. But look, if you want to build lasting wealth, you absolutely need a structurally sound foundation, not just some flashy roof. Okay, let's dive into this.
So there's this massive trap that so many people fall into, watching someone throw money at the latest hot ETF while completely ignoring a credit card that's charging them 22% interest. It's just mind-boggling. That high-interest debt is literally financial cancer. Trying to build wealth while you're carrying it, it's like trying to fill up a bucket that has giant holes in the bottom, or building a house on a cracked foundation. You're pretty much guaranteed to destroy any gains you might actually make in the market.
And that brings us to a frankly shocking statistic. Get this. According to recent data, 1 in 3 Americans doesn't even have an emergency fund, and the median amount saved for emergencies is exactly this number, just $500. That's less than most monthly car payments. And worse, it's actually down from $600 just a year ago. Meanwhile, these are often the exact same people wondering if they should go buy individual stocks. Mathematically, it makes no sense. It's exactly like asking if you should buy a Ferrari when you literally don't even have the cash to fix the broken transmission in your current car.
So today, we're following a step-by-step, mathematically proven blueprint. We're going to cover the leaky bucket, fixing the foundation, the employer match exception, tax optimization, the HSA's secret weapon, and finally, taxable accounts.
Starting with step 1, the leaky bucket. It is time to stop the financial drain.
Here's the deal. When you invest out of order, you create a massive opportunity cost. Every single month you delay paying off that 22% credit card debt is a month that debt is growing way faster than any investment you could ever reasonably make. Every month you ignore an employer match, that is literally free money just left sitting on the table. Investing out of order makes your financial progress feel like you're trying to run a marathon with a backpack full of rocks. You are unnecessarily handing your hard-earned money right over to the IRS and to credit card companies.
Which leads us to Section 2, fixing the foundation. We have to build the bedrock first.
Now, the traditional advice of saving 3 to 6 months of expenses is great, but let's be honest, it's so broad that it can feel completely overwhelming. So let's break it down into manageable chunks. Step 1, save your first $1,000 as fast as humanly possible. Step 2, build that up to 1 full month of living expenses. And then step 3, push that to the full 3 to 6 months. Why do it this way? Because an emergency fund isn't just cash, it's a psychological safety net. When your car breaks down, this is the money that prevents you from making terrible financial decisions like selling your investments at the worst possible time or racking up even more high-interest debt.
There's some fascinating research from Vanguard that really hit the nail on the head. They found that people with just $2,000 in emergency savings had financial well-being scores that were 21% higher than those without any buffer at all. That was the largest boost linked to any financial factor they even measured. Look, $2,000 might not be life-changing money, but the peace of mind it buys, that's enormous. It allows you to tackle the next phase with absolute clarity.
Once you've got that buffer in place, you attack high-interest debt, basically anything over 8%. Just think about this comparison for a second. If you have $5,000 in credit card debt at 22% interest, just making the minimum payments means you are going to pay nearly $2,800 in pure interest over 5 years. But by using the debt avalanche method, where you pay minimums on everything else and throw every extra dollar at your highest interest rate, you are essentially getting a guaranteed 22% return on your money. That completely crushes even Warren Buffett's long-term average in the stock market. It's an absolute no-brainer.
All right, Section 3, the employer match exception. Guys, this is the ultimate financial cheat code.
This step is so incredibly important that it actually interrupts the debt payoff we just talked about. Getting an employer match is essentially a guaranteed 100% immediate return on your investment. Let's say your employer matches 50 cents on the dollar up to 6% of your salary. If you make $50,000 a year, you contribute $3,000 and your company just hands you $1,500. That is a 50% immediate return plus whatever market growth you get. Even if you're sitting on credit card debt at 22%, getting a guaranteed 100% return from a one-to-one match is mathematically superior. It's literally the only thing better than paying off high-interest debt. So get the match and then immediately redirect all extra money back into your debt avalanche.
Moving right along to Section 4, tax optimization. Now it's time to shelter your money.
So the very first stop for sheltering your money actually isn't your 401k, it's an individual retirement account, or IRA.
This gives you the control to pick low-cost index funds without those high management fees. For 2025, the limit is $7,000 or $8,000 if you're 50 or older. But right away, you face a big decision, Roth or traditional. Well, it really boils down to one simple question. Do you want to pay taxes now or do you want to pay taxes later? If you're a young earner currently in a lower tax bracket, you should probably lean heavily toward a Roth IRA. That way you lock in your low tax rate today and enjoy totally tax-free withdrawals in retirement. But if you're a high earner right now in your peak income years, a traditional IRA lets you deduct contributions today, easing your current tax burden. And hey, if predicting future tax rates feels like trying to predict the weather, you can always split your contributions to create a little tax diversification.
Section 5. The HSA Secret Weapon. This is easily the most underutilized vehicle in America. If you have a high-deductible health plan, the HSA acts like a complete financial Swiss Army knife because of what's called the triple tax advantage. Number 1, you get a tax deduction on the way in. Number 2, your money grows completely tax-free while it's invested. And number 3, withdrawals for qualified medical expenses are completely tax-free. And this brilliantly illustrates why it's so powerful. For 2025, an individual can contribute up to $4,300. Now, the ultimate pro move here. Pay your current medical expenses out of pocket if you can afford it, keep all those receipts, let the HSA money stay invested and compounding in the market, and then reimburse yourself completely tax-free decades down the road.
To put that into perspective, if you max out your HSA contributions for 30 years and hit an average 7% return, you could have over $400,000 in completely tax-free money waiting for you. Now get this, the average couple retiring today is going to spend over $300,000 on healthcare throughout their retirement. By utilizing an HSA as an actual investment vehicle, rather than just a pass-through checking account, you essentially make one of the biggest financial risks of retirement completely disappear. It is an unbelievably powerful secret weapon.
Finally, Section 6, Taxable Accounts. Welcome to the Wild West.
Now, before diving into this Wild West, you'd want to circle back and finish maxing out your 401k. Doing all of that shelters over $35,000 a year from taxes. But once you finally reach taxable accounts, where there are no limits and you can buy individual stocks or crypto or whatever you want, you face something called tax drag. Let's say you invest $10,000 annually for 30 years at a 7% return in a tax-advantaged account. You'd end up with about $944,000. But in a taxable account, where you're paying taxes on dividends and capital gains along the way, you might end up with closer to $700,000. That is a staggering $250,000 difference. It's literally like running a race while someone keeps throwing sand in your shoes. Now, don't get me wrong, taxable accounts are fantastic for flexibility, like saving for a house down payment or bridge funding if you want to retire early, but mathematically speaking, they absolutely must come last.
So here it is, the real, proven blueprint for building wealth. Emergency fund. Eliminate high-interest debt, get the employer match, max the IRA, max the HSA, finish maxing the 401k, and then finally, taxable accounts. Building real wealth means ignoring the get-rich-quick hype of the next hot stock and just trusting this optimal sequence. Trust me, your future self is begging you to set up this foundation. So, I'll leave you with this provocative thought. Are you ready to stop feeding coins into a slot machine and instead commit to doing the boring mathematical stuff first to guarantee your financial freedom?